And G7 nations have agreed to try and phase out coal power stations by 2035. But questions remain about what will replace them to generate the power these countries need. One of the G7 nations, the UK, risks falling behind on green energy production and remaining overly reliant on other fossil fuels. According to a new report, John Beaver looks now at the challenges facing the UK as it aims for a greener future.
You don't need to go far in the UK to find a wind turbine. There are more than 11,000 of them. But 9 years ago, in England, the building of new turbines stopped. An eyesore and not right for England were the reasons given by the government at the time. The production of much more costly offshore wind farms was ramped up instead. But experts say that's not enough.
They've built more wind turbines in the Ukraine since the war started than they have over in England. So there's 2 turbines being built since 2023. And in the Ukraine they've built 19. It just shows you how far we're falling behind with onshore wind development in England.
A new report from the environmental group Friends of the Earth says England is being held back by a lack of political will, planning red tape and outdated electrical infrastructure. They argue that by fully embracing green energy, the UK has the potential to become a green energy superpower. The government has recently relaxed some planning restrictions, but critics argue they're still too difficult to navigate and it's putting developers off. There are also growing fears the UK won't hit net zero carbon emissions by its 2050 target. Environmental experts are also reiterating their calls for greater energy efficiency. As well as creating more power through green technologies, the UK and other developed nations are being urged to reduce the amount of energy being used on a daily basis. Some of the methods developed by this environmental consultancy firm were used in the Friends of the Earth report. It says that on and offshore wind turbines, solar and other green technologies easily have the potential to power the UK.
Their study, to achieve 13 times the current generation of renewable energy, you need just 3% of the land. So it's not a lot. And even that would deliver way beyond what we need, 2.5 times the amount of electricity that we need to power our homes. So you don't even need 3%. So it's just a small fraction of the amount of land that we have is actually needed.
England's last coal power station will close later this year. Other G7 nations have pledged to try and do the same by 2035. But the fear in the UK is that they'll need to use gas-fired power stations to fill the gaps left by a decade of underinvestment in green energy. John Beaver in the UK, reporting for DD India.